Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
Go, go,
Alien.
Go, go,
Alien.
Go, go,
Alien.
Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger
Alien.
Alien.
Welcome to the second episode of Mighty Morphin Alien Ranger Danger. This is the podcast where in space we can't hear you scream. Both because it's in space and also because podcasts are a one-way form of communication.
You could hear us scream.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you probably have.
You definitely did last week, for sure.
I feel like we all did. So I'm Matt.
I'm Michael.
I'm Tim.
And returning to the podcast
Drum roll. Hello.
is Sarah.
It's me.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So what we're going to do today, Sarah,
Yes.
on this podcast, is watch the 147th episode of Power Rangers overall.
Okay.
It's episode 2 of the Alien Rangers of Aquitar.
Cool. So I'm coming in a two-parter.
Yeah.
No.
No. What?
Yes.
Not a two-parter.
Oh, the second part of a two-parter.
No.
What?
It's not 2 parts, is it?
Yeah, it's 2 parts.
Oh, it is 2 parts. I
Yeah.
thought it was that like the whole 10 episodes.
No, they've all got different
I
names.
see.
But I
Okay.
mean, I guess it's a 3-parter because the last episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Yeah.
like
Bit of a setup.
basically picks up directly.
Sarah, you haven't missed a lot.
Okay. I mean, it's been a while since I've been on the show.
Here's the thing. It hadn't been a while for me.
Okay.
And I was still thrown into a washing machine and just tumbled for...
Tim, I think this would be interesting. Can you do... So, Sarah was on the show before Kat was on the show. So
Okay.
can you do your vague understanding of what's happened since Sarah was on the show?
It's going to be vague.
That's what I'm wanting.
So there's one new ranger
Okay.
since you've seen. Kimberly's gone.
What color?
Pink. So
Oh,
the
okay.
pink one's gone and there's a new pink one.
Okay. That's
Who-
simple enough.
Is named Cat.
Okay.
Was a cat for a while. Now...
So it started a cat?
No, I mean, don't correct me because it's more fun, but I'm pretty sure started a person, got turned to a cat,
Sure.
and is now turned back to being a person. She was evil somewhere in there. I don't know if it was pre or post cat. Like, honestly, I didn't see it, so I don't remember. But she's fine. She's Australian, allegedly. Depends on how believable the accent is.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Is she feline in any
No.
way? No. So
No.
just her name.
just her
instead
name.
of- Okay.
Just in name only.
Okay.
Other than that, Rita Repulsa, Evil Witch.
Yeah.
So her dad showed up.
Oh.
He
right.
has a very picture a hammerhead shark,
Okay.
but wearing a robe.
Oh. What?
Yeah, and some neck eels. I'm sure you'll get to meet him.
Okay, Pops. I'm really looking forward to
And
meeting
little
Pops.
half moon
Yeah.
glasses.
Ew.
What's his name, Tim?
His name is Master Vile. So Master Vile has come and he's plotting. His latest plot involved an orb of doom, I'm pretty sure, and effectively turned the Rangers into children.
Oh.
There was allegations of time travel, but I spent last week reeling with that. I think these guys spent the week before dealing with that. It's a pretty flimsy, as usual, interpretation
Right.
of the term time travel.
Okay.
The Power Rangers are children, as are seemingly
Oh.
everyone else except police
I
officers.
don't think that's what's going on. That's-
Michael, did you watch the episode or not?
Okay,
Everyone
go
but
on.
the police
And
officers
the
are
baddie is
kids.
neck eels.
Yeah, hammerhead, cloak neck eels, plus
Okay.
the others, plus, the whole shebang.
Plus,
Evil
is there
Witch
still...
and Muscle Man and
Oh, okay.
the whole crew.
Is there still putties?
No, so the putties are bird people instead. Like, they've been replaced by bird people called Tangers, who are sometimes really scary and sometimes get defeated by barrels. So it's
Sure.
like hit and miss on them.
Okay.
And yeah, so right now everyone's stuck as children, and the only way that this situation's going to get rectified is the Alien Rangers, who look a bit like people with masks on, to be straight with you.
Right.
But I
fair,
suppose we'll
fair.
find out.
Cool. So are the kids better actors?
No.
Because I thought that would be like...
Well,
I think some of them are better actors than their adult counterparts.
Yeah.
I don't. But
No.
that's fine. We can agree to disagree.
I will be the judge. I will see.
Mm-hmm. You'd be the
Well,
arbiter.
look, this is... Okay, this is strange.
That was a surprisingly good description.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot to take in. I'm not going to say it's not. I certainly
Okay.
had a time last week.
Okay. Power Rangers was going to be a completely different experience.
Mm.
Got it. Okay, I can handle that.
So what we have with the Alien Rangers of Aquitar as of last week was the Power Rangers are in a pickle. They can't morph. Everything's going to shit. They needed help. And Zordon said, oh, we could ask the Alien Rangers of Aquitar. And the Power Rangers like, wait, what? There's other Power Rangers, they're alien. And Zordon was like, yes, they live on a planet that's entirely underwater in pods and stuff like that. And they probably won't be able to survive on Earth for very long because they're used to like living on a water planet. But this situation may be so dire that we need their help. And the episode ended on the Power Rangers sending a distress call
Wow.
to the Alien Rangers. And there's a bomb outside the command center.
An implosion device.
Sorry, I
An
apologize.
implosion of... Okay, great.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, not
important detail. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you so much.
It's okay.
Okay, well, I'm overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
This will be great.
Well, here's another important detail for you, Sarah. Our website is www.rangedangerpodcast.com. We have an email address where you can send us emails, and our listeners too, but if you want to,
What would you do if I sent you an email?
respond to it.
Probably forget to respond to it for a couple of weeks and then eventually send one that says, I'm so sorry. We're sorry, guys.
I'm gonna test you guys. I'm gonna send you an email. I'm gonna see what happens.
So if you'd like that experience yourself, rangedangerpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to send us a Twitter tweet, we're at RangerDcast on Twitter.
We should do a mailbag next week, Matt.
Sure.
Just while I'm thinking about it.
Yep. We're also on Facebook, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google+, TuneIn. Plus, we have a shop, rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop, where you can buy things as well as a range of stuff.
Things and stuff?
We have the whole range of stuff and things.
Silks and spices?
We have neither of those.
Oh.
Only
we,
things and stuff, Sarah.
we have things that you could make into spices.
What?
No, I don't think that's
I mean,
true.
if something's granular and you add it to food, isn't it a spice?
No.
That's not the definition
No,
of
it's a
spice.
ground up coffee mug.
You have
Look,
wounded my...
Potato.
Yeah, except no one says potato.
Or if you've seen Ghostbusters, potato, tomato.
Matt, a spice is a seed, fruit, root, bark, berry, bud, or other vegetable substance primarily used for flavouring, colouring, or preserving food.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
Well, I like to say that my mug is my bud. It's my coffee bud.
What?
It's my coffee bud.
You want to spice it?
I'm saying you could.
You want to turn him into spice?
I wouldn't, but you could.
I am not your bud. Do not spice me.
Yes, ma'am. You will remain unspiced.
Oh dear. Okay.
Shall we go and indulge in 22 minutes of the finest of 90s children television?
Well, I think we're probably going to see some of the not finest, but that's fine.
Yeah, I was okay. I was going to try and get us out of watching Power Rangers, but
Oh, right,
if
okay.
you want to watch Power Rangers, I guess we can do that too.
We're committed.
Yeah, okay.
Or should be committed.
We will see you, listeners,
In the future.
in the future. And we're back.
Well, that was an assault to the senses.
An assault to the senses.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. A good assault? I guess there aren't good assaults, are there?
That's usually called a deluge.
Is it?
Is a deluge good?
A good assault. That's the definition.
Is a deluge not good?
At least neutral.
Yeah. I think it's just like a lot. It depends what it's a deluge of.
There was definitely a lot.
There was a lot. We actually got some Alien Rangers, which is better than last week.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we just...
I guess take it from the top.
Yeah, we'll talk about the episode sequentially.
Yeah.
And then at the end, share our views on it in a summary format.
Man, you've been doing this a long time, haven't you?
Got it down.
You're really good at it.
I'm a professional.
Still the old title sequence.
Yeah.
Which I get that they don't want to spoil the Alien Rangers.
Yes.
But that means 1/5 of this special second season thing
Yep.
has, like, no Alien Rangers in the opening sequence.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but it's only the opening sequence, right?
We do get to hear Go Go Alien Rangers at the end of this episode.
What was that, do you reckon, like an afternoon in the studio?
I think that's being very generous. I think that was like a toilet break in the studio.
Yeah. Alien All right,
We're
patch
done.
it in. We're
Yeah.
done. All right. So we meet Delphine first.
Yes.
She is the white alien ranger and
Leader
appears to be
of.
the leader.
Yep. I think they say explicitly she's the leader.
They may.
By the way, just before we kick off, thank God it was like, all right, second to Alien Rangers, like no time to waste.
Yeah.
Because I had to live through last week.
So was the last episode really slow?
Not slow, but for something that's called Alien Rangers of Aquitar Part 1, there was not a single spoken line from an Alien Ranger. We saw them through the viewing globe in the last 2 minutes, and that was the extent of it.
There was a lot of time spent with childish hijinks.
Right.
Like,
okay.
easily 30 minutes, which in a 22-minute episode...
It's impressive.
It's confusing.
But yeah.
No, we were confused. That's correct.
All right. So she's heard of Master Vial.
Yeah.
And basically what she says is, like, they're not sure if the water on Earth will be good enough that they can stay here all the time.
Seems legit.
But it'll be, like, they can definitely come and, like...
See how it goes. Dip their toes in the water, so to speak.
They've got a bit of, like, a bubble voice effect on their voice. I'm going to get sick of it in 8 episodes.
Yep.
But it's all right. Like...
Yeah, I mean, like, for this show...
Yeah.
Making
It's
them alien.
better, like, it would have been very easy for them to just not do that.
Yes.
And, you know, that's something. So we also meet Sestro, who is an African-American Aquitian.
I mean, like, you know, we didn't say that Delphine was like a Caucasian Aquitian.
No, but the rest of them are white. So I think it's
Yeah.
significant to point out that one of them is a black guy in dumb alien makeup.
I mean, no, but let's not let representation end just because they're aliens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
But he is the Blue Ranger, I think. So
Yeah,
he tells...
and the engagement technologies expert.
What that means is he's about to tell us about the Battleborgs.
Oh, I thought that meant he was like a wedding planner.
No, that's
Both, actually.
Yeah,
that's his side
weirdly.
job. You would not believe how many proposals on Aquitar are delivered by giant robots.
Yeah.
So
Cultural differences, you know.
they've got Battleborgs. He says they control them telepathically.
Yep.
But what we see is they control them like they're playing a Wii game.
Or more like a Kinect, but
Yeah, they have to jump around and do kicks and shit on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
I don't like it. I'm on the record as thinking telepathically controlled swords are much less cool than control.
You don't like the Dino Charge ones either, do
No.
you?
And like at least a little better that they're actually in them. But I think standing around and punching inside your robot to make the robot punches.
I mean, I just don't
Dumb.
understand how
Yeah.
the force feedback would work.
That's the thing, right?
Like, you kick a dude, you carry on through. What does the robot do?
Yes.
I think you guys are overthinking it.
That's how
3
droids
years, Sarah.
If we didn't
3
overthink the show,
years.
we wouldn't have much content.
Yeah, that would
We'd have
just
shorter
that would
episodes,
just
for
be
sure.
us describing the show. In which case, people could just watch the show.
I think their masks were really good.
Yeah.
Them alien.
I mean, like
get up.
again for the show, pretty decent.
Oh yeah, of course. Whenever I say it's really good,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. You
Yeah.
know, in the cesspool of the.
Oh, boy.
Nothing we haven't already said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know,
It's just hearing it fresh from
Did
someone
I
else.
insult you guys?
No, you
Okay.
insulted the show.
Which you do week to week.
But sometimes it's like, you know, you can insult it, but can I? Like, I don't know.
No, anyone can insult it. Power Rangers is mostly terrible.
Should have said
We all
last
know.
week.
Yeah, this was a almost good episode.
Okay. Well, look, I think that the masks were really good.
So they will also have access to the Shogun Zords, which
not the Ninja Zords.
no, just the Shogun Zords. And so they got their Battleborgs from Ninja.
Yeah, I like that. That's a small detail.
Yeah, up until someone says, "Oh, we could really use Ninja right now, but we won't find the temple for years."
Specifically,
It's
they
like
didn't go back and like.
it's like
specifically,
they were
right?
done with the back in time nonsense. We would have just all moved on.
We could have let it go.
and then they just have to be. You know where it is.
yeah,
still.
you could just go there.
I'm confused.
So
They went back in time,
Right.
but not really. Maybe it's look. Honestly, we don't quite understand
I'm
it.
very dissatisfied with this answer.
That's the sort of show
Yeah, me
that you're getting.
too. Me too.
So, like, people think they're living the lives they had X number of years ago. Let's say 10.
And
20
they've been
hours.
de-aged.
Yes.
So do they have memory of the future?
No,
No, but-
except for the Rangers and Zordon, because they're connected to the morphing grid, which like protected their memories.
And everyone on the moon because they weren't on Earth.
Okay.
But
Oh, what about Bulk and Skull?
no,
That's why they're kids. Those kids were Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, but say the Rangers kids, they remember their
Yeah, but
future.
Bulk and Skull don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Because of the morphing grid.
Right,
Or the
okay.
power coins or something.
or something.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm buying it.
And
Are you?
No.
That's one.
despite the fact that they didn't like reverse physically in time, like they didn't like move, they're in the same place. Things that they had when they were older, they don't have access to,
Except the Shogun Zords.
and the Ninja Zords. Yeah,
So
Yeah,
hang on,
man.
Zordon. Like, what was Zordon doing at that time?
He was just chilling.
Well, spring cleaning, but let's not get into it.
well, yeah. I mean, this is worth talking about for Sarah's benefit. All of last week, the command center was out of power, and they thought it was to do with the going back in time thing.
Okay.
And then Alpha realized at the end of the episode, the reason they didn't have any power was because at this time, X number of years ago, Alpha was spring cleaning and had the vacuum cleaner plugged in, which means he had everything else in the command center unplugged so the vacuum cleaner could be plugged in. So he had to go and take the vacuum cleaner out and
plug in the whole operation.
and
What?
yeah, and plug
One PowerPoint.
the building back in.
This is why we cannot be offended when you tell us that this show is dumb. We know.
Because they couldn't even figure out a double adapter, right? So,
Sounds like our first apartment.
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
alright,
except,
I'm on board.
Except you're not the Power
your
Rangers.
first department was not responsible for the protection of the human race, I don't think.
No, I feel like we probably could have better handled the situation, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we could have totally saved the planet.
Yeah.
Alright, there's also a dumb alien wave, like, sign-off handshake thing that they do.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Where they like, yeah, it's dumb. Tim, like, I'm impressed.
Pretty good.
I'm,
You
like-
memorized it.
So, can you describe, like, hands in a triangle?
yeah, but I'm pretty sure that your like middle knuckle goes down.
Yeah, of course, 'cause
inside,
you're an alien,
'cause you're
yeah.
an alien. And then so you kind of do like a circle.
Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Bless you.
I think clockwise, but I could be wrong. No, anti-clockwise, I think.
Like,
And then-
facing you anti-clockwise?
Yes, as if the clock were facing you.
Yep.
And then, so you go around and like stop at your left shoulder.
Yep.
And then like drop one hand and like kind of come across with the right hand, like across to the other shoulder. That was like, there's definitely a second part to it. It's like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
pump. Like a 90s pump.
And I'm just
Yeah.
pumped.
Okay, where do the spirit fingers come in?
after, when no one's looking.
Right, okay.
When the cameras
In
are on.
private.
The cameras are up. Off the record, is where the spirit fingers are.
Alright, so,
Off the Record Spirit Fingers is a good band name.
okay, that will be the title of this week's episode.
Okay.
Also, there's a bomb outside the command center.
Oh yeah, remember
yeah,
that?
remember that?
Oh man, thank God for that alarm, right?
Yeah. That alarm has a broad range of uses and
Yeah.
abilities.
It saves the world week to week, but
Yeah.
in a different way every time,
Yeah.
seemingly.
There's a monster. There's a bomb. There's a kind of like an existential problem. There's more like conceptual, but you guys will figure it out.
Wee wah.
So, an implosion device is like a bomb, but worse.
Finally, someone's given us a good definition.
Yeah.
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah.
Is it worse?
I mean, this particular one's going to set off a chain reaction that destroys the morphin grid forever. So
That's
that's
pretty
worse than
bad.
a bomb.
Yeah, but like by context. But if you had like just a regular building, then you put an explosive device and an implosion device.
Well, Matt, according to Power Rangers, yes, an implosion device is worse.
Okay, yes, yeah. Look, it's been stated, so I can't question it.
Yeah. So, Alpha's gonna go and defuse the bomb.
Yeah.
And all the Power Rangers have to leave.
Yep.
Because
As we mentioned last week, it's just too dangerous.
it's too big a risk for them. And also, they don't want them to die.
Yeah, well, now they're kids, so it's
Yeah.
a bit more morbid.
And as Alpha says, like, if something happens to him, there'll just be an Alpha 6.
Which I guess is easy to say as Alpha 5. Like, you don't care what happened to Alpha
What happened
4,
to Alpha
right?
4, yeah.
Yeah.
I have an attachment to Alpha 5 because I got to play him in the play.
You
But,
did.
yeah.
Special connection.
A special connection, but also he's kind of like he saves the day often.
I like Alpha a lot.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a good dude. A solid bloke, that robot.
I don't know if this is just a coincidence in the episodes I end up watching, but he always features predominantly when I watch.
It's interesting. Yeah, you have a connection to Alpha 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Alpha a lot as well. And just before the Rangers teleport, was at least for me, a touching moment.
What was written as a touching moment?
I experienced it as a touching moment.
Matt, describe the touching moment.
Before they teleport away, Aisha says, good luck, basically, and we love you, Alpha. And then
Alpha teleports them away.
Yep.
And then says, I love you too, Rangers,
Yeah.
after they're gone.
yeah,
It is touching.
It is touching.
So the Rangers have to go to the beach because they have to be there when the Alien Rangers get there. But so they give Billy like a miniature viewing globe. It's
Which is a slice of agate, to be perfectly honest.
there you go. Look at that, expert in the house.
A slightly dyed piece of agate. Yeah.
There you go.
Seems like it didn't count for much in the end.
Mighty Morphin Alien Geology Danger. I guess it'll come back.
No,
that's
won't.
yeah.
Don't be an idiot. Why would it? Why?
Okay, maybe it will come back.
No.
Okay.
I'll give you $1 if it does.
Okay, good. I'll make that bet. Can we just pause? The girl playing cat. They couldn't find an Australian blonde girl.
Don't give that kid any lines, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
I don't blame an 8-year-old girl for not being able to do a flawless Australian accent.
Yes.
By all accounts, it's a tough one for Americans to do.
Yep.
But there's nobody around. Nobody.
I mean, they certainly won't go to flying Australian in, because think about that money. But there must have been one blonde Australian
Someone's
girl.
But
kid.
also, the other kids didn't even get lines. Why pick her to talk?
Yeah, someone else could have done it, right?
Anyone else. Yeah. But I mean, she was super cute. I liked her little haircut.
I'd like to know, Americans, do you notice that she's doing a bad Australian accent? Because it's incredibly obvious to us.
Yeah, but it must seem weird. Regardless.
Yeah, but
right?
maybe our accent just sounds weird to them.
Yeah, it is, but hers is so inconsistent. She's not doing one.
It
one
definitely
weird
leans
voice.
very heavily into British sometimes.
Yes.
And Balkan School last week was very weird coming out of her little mouth.
Yeah, it goes sort of like Cockney and Scottish and all over the map.
It is a challenging one. Yeah.
Alright, so the Alien Rangers are on their way. They've got their own different teleport effect, which is I guess it's like
Rubbish.
a water,
No.
like an H2O.
Oh, that is so generous.
It's 3 atoms. That's what a water molecule
I know,
looks
but
like.
the thought that anyone else had that thought is incredible.
I certainly did.
I've only had that thought now as I'm trying to describe it.
It's either that or the Starship Enterprise, right? So,
Yeah, it looks like a starship made out of 5 polygons.
It's a large sphere with 2 smaller spheres connected by sticks.
Yeah.
It is a water molecule, and they're very ocean heavy.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, you're probably right, but that is not clear.
I'm shocked if that was on purpose.
It's not
is all I'm
something that
saying.
occurred to me, for sure.
Okay, so it's time for Alpha to defuse the bomb.
Yeah.
Now, what he doesn't do is just put out the incredibly long fuse.
Are you sure that'd work?
I mean, they lit the fuse to start it.
It's an implosion device, Michael.
I'm pretty sure.
I
see your point. I do.
It could have a detector in it.
The detects if the fuse is off and it explodes.
Yeah.
So why didn't it explode just before they lit it?
Well, because it doesn't start checking
Yeah.
until it's been lit once.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot, Michael. You can't make a bomb that would explode automatically. How is that any use
Isn't
to
that what
anyone?
grenades are?
No, they have pins.
Pins.
They have exactly the mechanism we're talking about,
Yeah,
which is
they do.
a
That's
thing
fair.
that makes them check or not.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. So what he does is he's got like a little handheld device.
Yep.
And he wibbles at the
Yeah,
implosion
Wibble
device.
is fair.
A Wibble laser.
And then
ray.
that zaps it.
Yep.
And at this point now, like a panel opens up. Alpha 5 is sweating.
He's sweating. It's the best.
So
It's so
amazing.
cute.
Picks up the little squeegee, or is that later?
You know,
What is
that's
that?
now. He wipes
Picks
his
up the little
visor
squeegee
clean.
that you see in a previous shot,
That's the
lying next to the fuse.
They 100% set it up. The squeegee's there from the start
and
of the scene.
squeeges over his red eye visor.
It's excellent.
It's so good.
There's absolutely a way to play this that's like really serious and we're worried about Alpha.
Yes.
But if you're not going to do that, making the robot sweat and
Are you
squeegee
sure
himself...
this isn't it?
Like, it's pretty tense.
What I would say is that I don't know if, like, me as a child is noticing and going, robots don't sweat. This is ridiculous.
I think you are.
No, and the thing is, too, they set it up with an emotional goodbye with the Rangers.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the setup of, it's okay, like, for the show, the robot can be replaced. He's set up to die in that scene narratively.
Yeah, especially when they get to the final moments of diffusing where he has to then snip a wire.
Of course he
Yeah.
does.
Because that's how you diffuse any kind of device, actually, not just bombs. And he really takes his sweet time making the snip.
Yeah.
What happens when he snips it?
The fuse stops. The lit fuse goes out. It doesn't burn to the end and nothing happens. It goes out like, I don't know, like 3 inches from the end.
Which sounds crazy, but I think lends weight to my idea that this is a more complicated fuse than the fuses we're used to dealing with.
Because it's capable of being extinguished by a wire on the
Internally.
bomb.
Yeah, like he's clearly a lot more connected to the bomb.
So dumb. It makes no sense.
I love
It
it.
would have totally worked on me though as a kid.
I loved this scene. To me, this scene was perfect.
Like, don't get me wrong, lots of dumb bits.
Yeah.
But if it was this kind of... like, it's almost like parody dumb.
yeah,
like,
this is like a Batman 66 scene.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I want this all the time.
I want Alpha 5 in more stuff.
Sweat
Yeah,
it
he's
more.
so good.
No, I don't need him to sweat more. That seems like a bizarre thing to
But now that
ask.
it's established canon, like he could run a marathon, he could do all sorts of things that, like, in other low pressure
Can he
situations would cause him
cry?
to sweat.
I don't think he can
What
cry.
other bodily
You'd have to be a
fluids?
What other
monster to
fluids
make...
does he have?
No.
Where does he
no.
store the fluid?
No.
Oh, in the little tank on his back.
No.
With the CD. For viruses. You remember.
No. We are not having a discussion about other bodily fluids that Alpha 5 could secrete. We're not. Don't give me that look.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag Alpha's alive.
The thing is that hashtag Alpha's alive works as both. It could be like Alpha's alive.
Yes.
It's all good.
We
I like
get
it.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm
Okay.
on board with that.
Tweet hashtag Alpha's alive and tell us your favourite bodily fluid of Alpha's.
I'm
I can't wait for next week.
Please don't do that.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay.
3-1.
I have to check the Twitter.
You
None
do.
of you check
I
the
can
Twitter.
check hashtag Alpha's alive.
I don't know how to Twitter.
Sarah won't check it.
I won't check it.
Alright, so Master Vile sends Goldar and Rito down.
Actually, can I just jump in?
Yeah.
Sarah, what did you think of my description of Master Vile?
Oh my gosh. So it surprised me. Like, I was expecting, like, something with a little bit more, like, mucusy, sort of, like...
Oh, gosh. Oh, my.
Like, you know...
I never said mucus.
Yeah, but you know, eels are, like, wet.
I mean, yeah, I did say neck eels.
Yeah, so I was sort of thinking, like fishy, gilly type, like,
I mean, I did
wet
open with
thing.
hammerhead shark, so
Yeah,
that's...
yeah, and then the eels. So no, so I saw him, and it was just like, what? His mouth is way too big, and his chin is so small, and he does have small eels on his neck, but also these large wings for shoulders. But they were going inwards, and I don't know, the color scheme, it was just confronting.
How did you feel about his tiny opera glasses?
Yeah, they were comical. I was more drawn to the mouth situation though. Like, yeah, ooh, no, would not go for that.
Okay, good to know.
So now we have to go to the creature feature and find out how fuckable Sarah thinks all the monsters are.
Ooh,
That's-
yeah.
Top to bottom.
That's an entirely separate list that I'm happy to do as a special episode.
Oh, that's really tempting.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much would you bang it?
The thing is, Lauren too would be so on board with
Okay.
that.
Like each monster
You know
each
what?
week? Is
As
that...
No, I think it'd be one special. He's do the list.
Oh.
So to speak.
I mean, like go through the
we
list.
probably only want to do the top 30%, but... Because, you know, once you hit a monster that's a 6...
Yeah, you don't want to get out of bed for 7 hours.
Or in bed.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's all fun until Mr. Tickles sees it.
Think about those fingers, Tim.
Those chubby fingers. Oh, they'll touch you in places you didn't even know you had.
The things that man can do with a bottle.
Whatever comes out of you goes right into his bottle. Oh,
We're going to hell tonight.
here we are, ladies and gents. Here we are.
Yep. I think this is...
Rate him on the sword board.
I think we're going to call that segment the Ranger Danger Bone Zone.
Yes, perfect. Oh, we've really earned that explicit tag this week.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the monster of the week who came from another planet and was like...
Professor Longnose.
No, don't, because I'm so upset
Oh,
about
okay.
that.
Yeah, I am too.
That they had to... That was tiny and came in a little tiny ship.
God, I've
Started
blanked
with
on...
B?
Yeah, I'm thinking Babadook, but that's not it.
That's not it.
That's the joke we made.
It was in the name of the episode.
Yeah, the Great Bukala Escape.
Bukala!
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Okay, I think Tim has to be
I
involved.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's a round panel discussion.
And we
Okay.
average out the scores like a diving competition.
Yeah, you stripe the top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay, so Master Vile sends Golar and Rito down.
Yep.
And, just to... I guess, just so they can be there.
Well, the Alien Rangers sort of whiz past the moon in their little polygons.
Sure.
And Master Vile wants to intercept them and stop them.
Okay, sure. Bulk and Skull show up. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Honestly, I care so little most of the time, and when they play the music and it's the two kids, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me?
The Bulk kid is like a pretty good Bulk. The Skull kid...
Is complete unlike Skull and
Yeah.
And it really threw me. Like, I know they said the names, but
Yeah.
I was just like, it just kind of took me right out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Goldar was scary for like 1 week?
Yep.
This week he's beaten by someone throws frisbees at him until he runs away.
Yeah, the pool toys was weird.
It's
So
dumb.
rubbish. So rubbish.
And they're really undercutting themselves so hard. Because it wasn't that long ago when the White Ranger would go up against Goldar in a sword fight.
Yep.
And it would be like a...
Rito destroyed 2 Zords.
Yes. Yes, that happened. He demolished 2 Zords. They did not come back because he destroyed them so hard.
Yep.
But a pool floaty fucks him up.
Heroically inconsistent.
And, like, just because they're so light, like, it was just they floated over to them. It was just so sad.
Not even any visual impact.
And because the kids are so awkward, they're lined up perfectly, like, yes.
Like, I kind of get that they can't shoot a fight scene with the kids because they can't get stunt doubles for them, maybe.
And also, like, that would be the same problem, really.
Yes.
You don't want to see the kids beating up Goldar.
But, like, I'd like to see that once. Just to, like, to have a thing about how, like, just because they're kids, they're not, like... They still remember how to martial arts.
Yeah, that's fine, but they're kids. It wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, but they could do, like, other kid things. Like, the thing where they stand on all fours and one of them pushes him over.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They could swing an I-beam comically from
Michael,
a rafter.
no, we've learned our lesson from last week. We've learned our lesson.
Just one
I really wish
fight.
they shouldn't have done the pool noodles at all. They should have been like dead to rights, trapped against
Yes.
the shore.
Yes.
And then the Aqua Rangers show up.
Yes, they're children. They should not. That should not be a situation they're able to handle.
So then our alien rangers show up, and they do their hand thing again, and they put their hands in the sky, and that makes them all blue and wobbly. And then they use water gun.
I
Yep.
get it, man.
It's super effective.
Yeah.
They're from a water planet. It's like, chill out on the effects.
And they get blasted by water
Yeah, the bad
and
guys just
run away.
Run away. They got hosed to death.
Not to death, obviously.
Yeah.
I can imagine their water powers are less spectacular on a planet that's entirely water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the ability to shoot water when you live underwater.
It's like,
is
what's that doing anymore? What are you achieving now?
I mean, there'd still be a force.
Like a current.
Yeah.
You
but,
would
like,
affect, like, the ocean life.
What, and some trash would go over there. Like, Not really Power Ranger material. I don't
Yeah, I mean the fact that they can turn into Power Rangers, I suspect, is more key to their Power Ranger.
Right, but why don't they have like webbed feet and hands?
What?
Well, they would be swimming, right?
No, they live in their little pods.
They live in
What,
pod
and all the
structures.
dangers in the pod as well?
This is the Aquaman situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's just not much crime committed under the ocean.
I see
No,
your
well,
point.
no, but all the crime on that planet
Yeah.
happens in the water, not at my house.
I mean,
You see my point?
Do they
I
breathe
do.
underwater?
Sorry?
Do they breathe underwater?
Well, they got lumpy heads. So
we-
But they
Yeah.
also have a submarine.
That's the thing. Like, I can see it as an entirely, like, within building civilization. Underwater.
Okay, but so's
They're
ours,
the Gungans,
right?
guys.
Our existence is mostly in buildings.
No. But that's a very different thing. If we couldn't go outside because it was like... it's like living on Mars, right? Except even worse.
Yeah, except they can't come here because the water's no good.
Yeah. But
So
we
they
don't
must
know...
live in the water.
We don't know their relationship with the water.
Maybe they need to, like, shower with it.
Or, yeah, just get, like, water vibes from their water.
Yeah. Or, like, run it over their gills or something. They might have... Timo's just swiveled his chair away from it.
He's turned his back to us.
I don't know if it's disgrace, shame, just exhaustion.
I'm back. I needed a minute.
Come on, Naboo. Come on,
I didn't
Naboo.
get it.
I've got a question, guys.
Shoot.
I wrote down all the Alien Rangers' names.
No.
Uh-huh.
Can
No,
any? Do you think?
Delphine.
Okay. Do you think?
Octagon.
No.
Ferrari.
Don Quixote.
No.
Quetzalcoatl.
Squirtle.
That's it. That's six. Right?
Frank.
That was 6, but there's only 5 of them.
Christopher.
No. None of them have regular person names, man.
I mean, Delphine's a real name.
That's true. None of the rest of them have regular person names.
Corktholomew.
No.
Sorry, cock fall on you?
No, Corktholomew.
Is this Ranger Danger After Dark tonight? What's happening?
Hashtag cock fall on you.
No. I'm boycotting that one.
That's not how boycotting
Yeah,
works.
it is. I'm not going to use it.
You're thinking of veto, I
No,
think.
I'm boycotting it. I'm not going to check it. I'm not going to respond to tweets that use it.
gonna check it right now.
I boycott. No, boy.
You could veto it. Like, you have the power.
No, I don't. I very explicitly do not have the power to veto hashtags on this show.
you do.
That's how we got hashtag Michael It's Okay If You Don't Have Breakfast, or hashtag Michael Jump Log, or any of the myriad stupid hashtags.
I feel like you were on board with hashtag oil prices.
No!
But technically, you could just bleep out the hashtags.
Oh, I mean, I guess, but that's so much work.
Sure.
Alright, their names are Caucus,
I was pretty close with Corktholomew.
Sestro. There's no tweets for hashtag cockfall on you.
Let's change that. I want to see that different.
Caucus, Sestro.
I feel like I was really close with Corktholomew.
Okay. You weren't close with Frank, though, so it balances out.
Sure, alright. I'll cop that.
Orico is the Red Ranger, and Tidius is the Yellow Ranger.
Boys.
Tim.
Hashtag cock fall on titties.
No! No, I'm... No.
So after they've scared the monsters away,
Yep.
they touch the kids' faces.
Yeah, they have a really
Oh,
protracted
yeah.
moment. It's like it takes too long.
Yeah,
And like
because
they
they're children.
stroke each other. Like the ladies touch each other's ponytails slowly.
Well, one of those is a boy.
Yeah,
No.
It's
One,
Tommy's-
it's Tommy's
two.
ponytail.
Oh my
Because
god!
The
to
girls
be in
have got
charge of
short
a
hair.
team, you have to have a ponytail.
Of course, and because they were like strange weeks as well, weren't they?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very intimate,
it was.
and the looks of glee on the like adults' faces, and the kids are just like.
Awkwardly,
Yeah.
like, just enduring it.
It was weird. It was strange.
So Billy's going to take the Alien Rangers to the command center, and he asks Tommy to tell Billy's dad he'll be late. Presumably, Billy's dad wouldn't know who Tommy is, right? Because we're back in time.
Well, yeah, but like
I
my
mean-
friend, I don't know.
Because as you said last week, 5 of the 6 Rangers didn't live in Angel Grove when they were kids.
Yep.
Where are they going back to? what experience...
In fact, it's everyone except Billy.
Yeah. So what experience are their parents having? Like, do they think they're living in another city but are actually in Angel Grove? Or are those kids, like, is Kat just going to go back home to Australia for the evening?
What about the other adults, as in, like, you know, at the school, the teachers and stuff?
Well, we've seen
everyone except police officers.
No, I don't think
That's not the case. We saw some other adults in this episode.
Did we?
In the background. When there was the van that rolled through, the police van, walking down the street, there was some definite adults. So I think that finally kills the everyone's adult except for cops theory. Despite that being what the show presented.
Honestly, that's most of it. That's even if that's not 100% of the information, it is like 98% of the information presented.
Yes.
Alright, so Master Vile tells the monsters to prepare for war.
Correct.
In the meantime, we learned that the Alien Rangers also live by the sacred code of the Rangers, which I thought was that stuff about only using their weapons for defense.
Yeah.
But seems to be just about beating the shit out of bad guys.
That's it. They really slimmed it down.
You know, just... It was like a couple of pages and the new guys weren't quite getting it. So.
I mean, look, I as someone who works with brands and sometimes has to help companies reinterpret brands.
Yep.
What I spend a lot of time doing is taking, like, 80-page brand guideline things that no one ever reads.
Getting them down to a couple of sentences.
Absolutely.
We punch the shit out of giant monsters.
Yep.
It's catchy.
The bad ones.
Yeah.
Everything you need right there.
Yep.
Not very eloquent.
Yeah, so there's a bit where the siren makes them go like, oh God,
Who
what's
cares?
happening?
Which seems like it's going to be a problem.
We have a
because-
lot of loud noises on this planet.
I mean, that siren goes off at least once a week.
Yeah.
Often twice.
They all, as aliens, do the, like, Detective Gorin head tilt all the time.
Yeah.
They also call themselves aliens.
Yeah.
And I, like, have a big problem with that.
But I do like that they referred to themselves initially as the Ocean Rangers, which doesn't make a lot of sense for an entirely ocean planet, but at least they didn't call themselves the Alien Rangers on their planet. You know what I mean?
They were like, it's Morphin time, and like, what? No, hold
No.
on. You live here.
I'm sure they refer to themselves at some stage as an alien.
No, they do.
They
do.
call themselves
Oh.
aliens.
Okay.
Which
I think
are.
if you showed up on another planet, you'd be kind of self-aware about
If
it.
I showed up on
Okay.
another planet, I'd lead with "Take me to your leader," just because, like, all the
Like for
Earth
the
guys
history
are love
books,
it.
right?
Yeah. All right. So now in the Angel Grove warehouse district, which we have always suspected existed, but now we have official canonical
Visual
confirmation.
proof, yeah.
Not only that, it isn't like a metal sign by the side of the road. It's a giant multicolour painted mural on the side of the building. It's
It's
beautiful.
important you know you're entering the warehouse district.
It's so good.
So there's a mandatory curfew
Yep.
again.
Oh, these cops and their curfews, honestly.
Why is there not a mandatory curfew in the present when the monsters attack?
Yeah, we've grown out of it.
We're just done being afraid. We're like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
They always stick to the abandoned warehouse district anyway.
Yeah.
See, there is for kids, but, like, we don't know about it.
No, we've seen a ton of kids. There was that deaf girl that
Well, yeah, but Michael, characters that are swept up in the plot can't follow curfew, can they?
And also, she might not have been able to hear about it.
Billy and Alpha brief the Alien Rangers. They've got like some screens that just show. Man, are you okay there, buddy?
No, he's done.
That one did it, didn't it? That was too much. For me.
It's even better. Unfortunately, listeners don't have the context of the events of earlier this evening.
Where Sarah was incredibly mean to an old lady by accident.
I sometimes just say things. I don't know. It was we won't talk about that.
Okay, so Billy and Alpha brief the Alien Rangers.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a bit where Zordon's like, you will be in a desert, far from any body of water. It's just like, it's morphin time. I don't have time for this
Yeah,
shit.
give a shit, bro.
Can
I
someone,
like that they say it's morphin time.
Can someone describe their morph sequence?
Oh,
So it's like a mid shot.
Yep.
Of them on
A little longer than the regular Power Rangers one we're used to.
Yep. On a sort of digital backdrop. They're doing their little alien finger thing.
Yep.
And a wavy CGI cylinder of quote-unquote water rises around them.
and like rotates behind them, and then there's a kind of spotty fade in of their suit.
Yep.
Team, you two, I'm looking at you, I don't have to say your names. What did you guys think of the suits?
Well, I was like kind of confused at first because I didn't realize, like, I knew that they were going to be something like, kind of representing the Power Rangers. I didn't realize they were going to be like basically exactly the same.
Yep.
But I thought they were kind of cool. Yeah, they were pretty sleek.
They could have been more aquatic, given the whole shebang.
But like, I feel like I had that moment of like, oh, this is just like they've stitched together some stuff that isn't related at all. Moment. Yeah.
Correct.
What's interesting about that comment, Tim, is that the Kaku Rangers, which is the whole season of Sentai, they're taking this for this little bit, nothing to do with water.
Yeah,
They're
of course not,
ninjas.
of
They're
course not.
clearly ninjas.
They're so obviously ninjas.
Yeah.
Their head lumps wouldn't fit in those helmets.
No. And it raises so many questions about
like,
why
Why
water?
water?
Yeah. Why are they ocean aliens? What for?
Yeah.
Do you think it was like a costume? Because I was not thinking about that actually. Is just generally the costumes seemed a little bit better than the last time I saw the show. I think they have a bit of budget. There was also like more fire in general, like explosions and things. Like, do you think maybe it was just sort of like they had the costumes they wanted to use?
I suspect what you're seeing is the ability of the show now to use more Japanese footage.
Right.
Because up until now, we've had to shoot our own monster fight scenes because we're still using the old costumes.
Right.
But now that they've caught up, those Power Rangers suits that we're seeing on the Alien Rangers are the ones that are fighting those monsters on the Japanese show.
Sure.
So
They're not having to hide behind it.
For the past
Right.
60 episodes or so, all of the monsters that the Power Rangers have been fighting have been the monsters for those set of Rangers that we've seen.
Okay.
But because our Power Rangers wear different suits, they couldn't use any of the footage of them fighting as people against those monsters.
Right.
So we'd only ever see bad American footage of them in the costumes fighting those monsters poorly. And then it would cut to the Zord battles, which they could actually use the Japanese
That
footage
makes
for.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God, is it so good
so much
to see
better.
Japanese
All
fighting.
straight- It's not even a great fight.
No.
And
it's
it's just
so much better.
I think that's why I kind of I thought the costumes were pretty cool. Maybe it was just like it carried the scene, kind of had.
They're actually able
something
to
that
do
I've-
action.
Yeah, not observed.
So
for a
there's
while.
a bunch of monsters against the Rangers.
Yep.
I think it's all guys we've seen. There's that one who says "Welcome to JL House" on his face. We still don't know what that means.
Nope.
There's
Krabby Cabby.
the Krabby Cabby, horrible Flasher monster.
Oh gosh,
It was nasty, wasn't it?
that was just like someone went
Sea
to a dark
Monster is
place
his name.
to invent that situation.
Yeah.
And then everyone's favourite Spec Up Space Pirate, Professor Longnose.
Is this where we're going to do this?
Yeah, let's do this here. Come
Look,
on.
why are you guys cranky?
So last week, they set up Professor Longnose. It was like, well, Holy Speak Monster Conference, all the monsters are coming, and they all arrived, but Professor Longnose wasn't there yet. And like, oh, he's in a dark star galaxy, conquering another galaxy, but he's on his way.
He'll come and he'll lead the 5 best of you into battle.
Yeah.
So we had some fun imagining what he might be.
Yeah, and we were excited to see this guy.
He's not even named on screen.
All the fun we had just tossed out the window.
Burnt.
That will never be untrue. That moment existed for you guys.
Yeah, but then it was burnt. Burnt down.
Honestly, what upset me most about it is that, and like I don't have any knowledge to back this up, but
Sure.
I have enough to know that there's something there, which is that costume is a very specific, like, spiritual Japanese thing, and that's like a traditional mask of like a demon character or something. Just fucking none of that makes it to the show. He's just Professor fucking Longnose.
Yeah.
That's what we've got.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, their naming, like the amount of naming they put into it was like, hey, he's Longnose, he's Professor Longnose. All right, we're done writing
and like,
this character.
why Professor?
There's a hat.
That's what I was trying so hard, but it's not a professor hat.
No.
He could have been like,
Mr. Longnose.
yeah, he could have been Long-Nosed Joe. It wouldn't have made any difference.
No.
If
Yeah.
there, if like,
Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Where did he come from, Long Nose Joe?
I think we have to pay money to someone if I go any longer
Yeah,
than
yeah,
that.
we'll get sued.
In 2016, that could have been a nice moment for cultural exchange.
Yes.
And every time, because it's the 90s and whatever, but we have Bibimbap or whatever the fuck his name was.
Why do you think that happened?
Bukala?
Bukala.
Like, why do you think they would, like, try and inspire the audience for that character and then not go anywhere with it?
Because it feels like they write this show in real time.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They do not... Okay, saying they don't plan ahead is slightly untrue.
Yes.
But someone's touch typing into an auto cue some days. Like, here's how it feels.
Yeah, no, it's really like someone who's like dictating it into a like recording device on set and knows vaguely what's coming up, but there is no opportunity to go back and revise.
For instance, is not the logical midpoint in this episode the Alien Rangers arrive?
Yes.
Is that not where you end the first episode?
Yes.
Rather than putting it at the end of the first act of the second episode and just making them instantly morph, do 6 seconds of a fight, get out the same giant robot we've always had.
I just don't know that you could have fit the I-beam sequence in and
Yes.
all that trolley time.
That's exactly
if we rearrange things and do it how you want to do
That's
it.
exactly what I'm saying. Yes, Tim.
All that trolley time might also be a good episode name. Although maybe it's a good one for last episode.
Yeah, it's too late now. We can't go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they have the barest of pretenses of planning ahead, but also never feel any sense of responsibility on paying off things they set up.
Literally never. The squeegee,
Yeah.
incredible moment of setup payoff.
And
for this
honestly,
show.
probably was just that they needed it to be there so he could pick it up. And it was easier to just leave it there all the time.
It's that sort of thing that I almost imagine when they're shooting that stuff on set, the second unit guy's like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if, and they do it,
Yeah.
and it just ends up in the show. I don't think that was in the script.
Not a chance.
It's just... Because very occasionally, they do it right.
Yes.
And, like, it's, powerful. Not in a, like... It's not the best TV in the world.
No, but by contrast, it's amazing when it
Yeah.
happens.
Do you think it's possible that it could happen today?
That what could happen today?
Like, we'll say that it was happening today.
What
like
was
the Power
happening?
Rangers, I mean.
It is
And
happening today.
Well, no, but to the quality, the disorganization, the writing loopholes, like, what's making you creepy
I mean, I
right
can
now.
tell you 18 months ago it was happening.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Like, Super Mega Force? Yeah, remember that?
I do.
Remember that abortion of a season finale?
Wow.
That's generous.
I mean,
Jeez.
I don't like using that terminology as a descriptor, but it was horrendous. So, okay, yes. It's
Okay.
Like,
Alright.
we've had a lucky last 2 years on this show, and even then it's been, like, good, not perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is, the kids don't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how true that is.
The kids don't notice enough that they don't want toys for Christmas.
There again, like, as a kid, I was attracted to the shows that were better story-wise.
Okay, but
And-
you're also a professional writer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I guess it's hard for me to,
I know, you can't
Chicken
step
and egg,
outside
yeah.
yourself. You don't know.
Yeah. But, like, I know that the reason I stuck with Power Rangers, for example, is because I started with Green with Evil, and that stuff was, like, relatively, for a children's show, well handled. Mm-hmm. And I dropped off when
it dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas, like, when I was watching Power Rangers, I'm starting with, like, the back half of Turbo that's interesting and exciting.
Yep.
And continuing all the way through, like, In Space and Lost Galaxy and Time Force. And then as soon as it starts to, like, oh, it's Wild Force now, I'm like, yeah, it's not, I'm just done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
It could be good. It could be, there's plenty of good children's television.
Yeah.
Made by people who care.
Yep.
And this could be that, and,
And it's not.
well, this stuff definitely isn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess it's so hard to pinpoint the age that, like, your imagination, like, blends with critical or maybe more, like, cynical thinking. You know, like, or not, maybe not even the age, but just like that moment in childhood where you're like, you meet that.
I'm not even sure that it's like cynicism exactly though. I think when it's like bad as a kid, you're not necessarily thinking this is enough quality, but you're less engaged than you could be potentially.
You
because
might not
it's
know
not
why.
picking you up. It's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's not setting things up and you're like "Ugh," all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's just not putting the effort in.
It's like when kids watch like a shitty DreamWorks movie, they'll be like, yeah, Minions are funny and may have an attachment to Minions, but they have a different experience with a Pixar film that still is able to connect with them because it is a great story and they can appreciate that even as children.
Yeah.
And although they may still ask for Minions for Christmas, when they grow up, they're going to be like, oh, those Pixar films were great. I'm embarrassed about my Minion.
You're telling me you're not a fan of those little yellow Tic Tac
Yeah,
bastards?
I feel like there's some kind
No.
of...
Hashtag Minions for Christmas.
I actually don't remember ever having a conversation with you about Minions in general.
I have strong feelings about Minions.
Yeah.
And it really peaked with that one image that Michael showed me that one time.
Is that the Confederate flag one?
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like that's the moment for everybody.
It just... Yeah.
I have to say, I mean, you know me, I love all things goofy. But I just never, I watched the film and never pulled at my heartstrings. And I was always wondering, what was wrong with me because everyone really likes it.
Well, that was the thing always to me about Minions is that it all felt unearned.
Yes. Look, it's fine surface level comedy in like a, short skit sort of way. They're funny little creatures. Oh, God. Oh, Michael just brought up the image.
What I love is their camo overalls.
Oh.
But that's not official.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
In that resolution, are you kidding?
But for some reason, people, and I don't mean children, like adults, have taken Minions and incorporated them deeply
Into their bigotry.
into I was going to say every aspect of their life, but bigotry for some reason
That's
is
weird.
part of it. It's super weird.
Because they are raceless. And sexless. You know, they're like raceless and sexless, aren't they?
Is that not why some bigots might like them? Because there's no black minions?
All the
shit.
Minions are yellow, though, so...
What?
Wait,
I
aren't
just
there evil purple minions, or have I made that up?
Maybe.
I'm going to Google
I've never
purple.
seen any of those movies.
But Minions, we're all one.
Yeah,
The
there's
way that
these
Minions
evil
are all
purple
one.
minions with the fuzzy hair. Which, now that I say that out loud...
God,
That's
that is horrifying.
And yeah,
Oh
you
my
can
god.
draw some
Oh my
unfortunate
gosh,
parallels
this is
there.
awful.
I feel like we need to have a separate podcast about the racial politics of minions.
No,
Yeah,
I never want to
because-
talk about it again.
It's called Minions for Christmas. It has
Oh,
to be.
that's so terrible. I mean, it's not on purpose, right?
Probably not. I'd like to think not.
So, the Rangers are fighting a bunch of monsters.
They are,
So offended.
including Professor Disappointment.
How did you know what my parents call me?
Because they're also my parents.
Michael, I love you so much.
Oh, buddy. That was really clever and really sad all in one sweet hit.
Wow, how did you know what they say?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have to cut out this laughing because it's uncharismatic of me to leave in like a minute of people laughing at one of my jokes.
Oh no, it's good. You earned it.
Oh god. Okay, so they summon the Battleborgs.
Yep.
Someone describe the Battleborgs.
The big bad Battleborgs.
No,
and they,
no, you got confused.
they live in a house with
With Jay Leno, Elvis Ghost.
Yep,
They
and a,
bake cookies.
and a where do they?
Yeah.
I'm really lost. There are some references happening.
Maddie's talking about the big bad Beetleborgs, which was a show similar to Power Rangers, but
Yeah,
honestly
no.
not as good.
I know, but then the Jay Leno and the cookies.
Oh, you know, Jay Leno, Elvis Ghost is like an
From
actual
Beetleborgs.
character from Beetleborgs.
Okay.
So the Beetleborgs were kids, and they lived in they didn't live. Their centre of operations was a haunted house
I remember that.
filled with knockoff Universal monsters. So there was a ghost, a werewolf, a Frankenstein, and a mummy, not with those names. And the ghost was the blue Jay Leno ghost.
The 90s was a strange time.
It was. That's true.
Oh, it was cheap to make TV, that's for sure.
Yes, it was. Especially when you got half of it from Japan.
Yep. Okay, so the Battleborgs actually...
Yes.
I mean, they're 5 robots.
Yep.
They're not...
You can see that Ninja helped them out.
They're not like Megazord size, but they're like...
Slightly smaller.
Yeah, slightly smaller. I don't know if they combine. I don't know if that's something that they
Doesn't
do.
look like
They
it
just
would.
look like dudes.
Yeah, but so do all the other Ninja Zords and...
Well, yeah, but made of cardboard boxes, like...
I don't love them. In fact, I would almost say I don't like them.
I mean, not enough exposure yet.
They also just don't feel like giant robots.
Yeah.
Like,
They weren't robotic.
in
enough.
particular, in this episode, they punch and kick the monsters, and then we just summon the old Megazord to take out the bad guys.
Yeah. That's not a super impressive start.
Yeah.
And I don't love Zords that are just dudes.
Yeah, you've said that a couple of times.
They're just
Dudes?
dudes, and we have dudes. You know, if you're going to do dudes, just make the dudes.
Yeah,
big.
we've already got dudes fighting monsters,
Yeah.
and then when they just go dudes fighting monsters pretending to be giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And again, the whole controlling with your movement.
Yeah, it's just logistically untenable.
It's unsatisfying.
Yeah.
You know? I want Zord to be piloted. Okay. Got that out of my system.
Right. So yeah, they summon the Shogun Megazord, they kill Professor Longnose, without even really talking about it.
And without trying, seemingly.
Without any pomp or circumstance.
Can I say, there's the scene where young actor playing Tommy leans over, flicks the radio, and is like, hey, it's time for Shogun Megazord power.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that kid is the evidence for some of the kids being better actors than their adult counterparts. I reckon he's better than Jason David Frank.
I mean, it's not hard.
No, I'm not saying the kid is good, but I think he does a better job.
So when Professor Longnose explodes, his hat goes flying, which I quite liked.
Stands to reason. That's fair. I wonder if that has some deep cultural significance in Japan that we're not seeing.
We're being robbed of.
I mean, probably. Do the other monsters just leave?
Yeah,
They don't seem to be destroyed.
No, they
they
are like, hey,
teleported
let's
away,
book,
yeah.
and they teleport away.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, okay.
yeah,
They could just come back like in an hour.
yeah.
Okay. Master Vile chucks a fit. He's not happy.
He really does a kind of 180 in character from being
Yeah.
very collected and poised and certain of himself. He just wigs out, starts to basically cry, and then runs away.
Fucks off back to his own galaxy.
Yeah.
Where evil always wins. So suck it, nerds.
I really wasn't expecting that.
No. I don't know if he's ever going to come back.
No.
I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean, why not just stay in the M51 galaxy, where evil reigns supreme?
yeah.
It's a good question. And it's basically the end now. So we've got some wrap up. Mm-hmm. A news report.
Oh, so I would like to talk briefly about how Lord Zed is just over the moon that Master Vile is gone.
I mean, you would be when your father-in-law went home after Christmas.
Yes. Especially when, like, the father-in-law has been running the house.
Yeah, has been a total ass for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. I find that weirdly endearing for the weird skinless demon man to have that relief.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And he kisses. Who does he kiss?
Golda.
Oh, yeah. With joy.
Yeah.
He actually seems... I mean, I know that they de-scaried him quite a while ago.
Yep.
But he did seem generally softer.
I mean,
And
he's found love now.
he's found love. In Golda?
In an airless
No, in
place.
Rita.
I know.
All right. So
That's good.
yeah, I thought so. So yeah, news report.
Yep.
Thanks to some.
What's happening right now?
Oil prices?
Here we go.
No, it's not a joke.
I think it's even better when the setup is much longer.
I'm
than
1,000% sure, Michael, that we empirically established that it is a joke for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to some unknown superheroes, the mandatory curfew has been lifted.
Yay.
Bulk and Skull show up and they say, hey, we saw the superheroes. They're aliens. And the news reporter thinks that that's impossible.
I was so mad here.
It's like the craziest thing she's ever heard.
Yeah, like the giant aliens that came down And
Yeah.
Giant robots that showed up to fight off the giant aliens.
like the idea that those might
That's just
also be
government.
from aliens.
No, that's just government stuff that they don't tell us about.
What a weird place to draw the skepticism line.
Yeah.
And it solely exists so Bulk and Skull are humiliated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which just...
But, they're supposed to be humiliated. They don't act like it. They don't seem to really take any of it to heart. So it barely serves that purpose.
Yeah.
So it's basically useless.
Yeah. Alright. So the Alien Rangers have got, a bit of... we think the world's okay, but we probably can't be here the whole time,
The
forever.
environment's too harsh.
It's
They need
just-
to go
yeah.
soon, basically.
Also, their own planet.
Presumably has bad guys.
It has Power Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just live very uneventful lives. They're mainly ceremonial.
Can you imagine if you could become a Power Ranger and someone asked you to do it once every couple of years?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, okay, I've got a giant fighting robot. No, everything's good. We mostly handle crime and we've got the
gonna have
cops.
to stretch though for sure.
Yeah, you'd be a bit out of practice,
They'd
probably.
need day jobs, right? What would they do?
Well, maybe they don't have
One of them's a wedding planner.
Maybe they're like the Queen, They're just completely ceremonial and the whole job is to just
I love that
bring
Tim's
Power
just
Rangers.
no, mate, they don't have to have capitalism, guys. Yeah, I guess that's certainly possible
What if they just live together in perfect harmony?
with the ocean and
Yeah.
Maybe
space
Aquitar
sharks.
is just like Earth of the future. Where,
underwater and
Completely after global warming
Yeah.
finally fucks us all.
yeah, and that's the point where we give up on capitalism.
When did we get lumpy heads though?
I mean, probably from the radiation.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
More time travel?
Not till...
It's not literally Earth
Only
in the future.
slowly and forwards.
Yeah,
It's regular
one
time
year
travel.
every year. Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, maybe when we get to that stage in our planet's life, we'll be called on to go and help us slightly earlier in the development planet when Master Vile arrives there.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Speaking of, Zordon says he's not sure how long it'll take him to turn the Earth back to its usual time.
About
I
8
mean-
more episodes.
As long as it doesn't take him 12 years, he's doing better than
Time?
the general
Than not,
universe.
yeah.
So that's it. We do all hands in the middle. Hey,
Yay, Power Rangers.
go, Power Rangers.
Yay.
Let down.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah. All right.
You know what? I'll just say this. We talked a lot of shit about the I-beam, but it gave us value for money.
It did. We got a lot out of that I-beam.
All right. So on our new 3-point scale, we're ranking things based on aliens. So the
Okay.
best alien is Superman.
Okay.
The neutral alien is the neutral people from Futurama.
Okay.
And the worst alien is the aliens from the War of the Worlds.
Defeated by Sniffles.
So, where did this episode come in?
Oh gosh, what a strange scale. Okay.
Is it?
Well,
It's perfect
it's,
scale.
basically, it's a 3-point scale, but Matt doesn't like thinking of things in a point system, so we use words to fool his small writer brain into believing that it's something different.
I can pretend it's subjective.
Beautiful. Okay.
Was this a War of the Worlds?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you know what really put it across the line? Professor Longnose.
Yep.
They that didn't have to be as much of a crushing disappointment. They created that entirely last episode.
Yeah, agreed.
So, War of the Worlds.
All right, Ranger Danger Creature feature time.
Oh,
Who are we doing?
Professor Longnose is like the other aliens. We've seen them before, and they didn't do anything this week. So
it doesn't really.
let's
affect
leave
me.
them where they are.
Yep.
Master Vile, I'm like he can stay.
Where is he?
I don't even know. I'll find him.
Because he did whimper out.
We did not put Master Vile on the creature feature,
Well, maybe we should do that.
so why don't we do that first?
All right.
He's good. Like he's got a good look.
Yes,
He doesn't do it this week, but the gothic thing he brought in previous week
was pretty cool.
Was pretty good.
Yeah.
He's good overall.
Yeah. And he brought an interesting dynamic to the moon. Like, he shook it up.
Yeah.
And not just in the normal way of like, oh, it's a more powerful person. There were like family dynamics that were interesting.
So how far up the top are you thinking?
Hey, like top 20 maybe?
Okay, well number 20 is Krabby Cabby.
Huh.
Is he better than Krabby Cabby?
Surely. I mean, I didn't see the episode.
Krabby Cabby's pretty good.
Immediately above Krabby Cabby is Chunky Chicken. Is Master Vile better than Chunky Chicken?
That's hard.
He's not better than Chunky Chicken, is he? Chunky Chicken had great big scissors.
Episode title right there. Right there.
It is hard to compare, like,
The second monster from the show ever.
yeah, like flashes of brilliance in one episode to being able to sustain pretty goodness over 10.
Sure.
Also, they're on different playing fields.
Yeah.
Like, one of them's the dad of the big bad guy, and one of them's a monster of the week.
Yeah.
How do you feel about putting him in below Chunky Chicken but above Krabby Cabby at number 20?
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
And I think the only reason I'm not arguing harder to go above Chunky Chicken is that exit was not good.
No, it was a bit embarrassing.
If he comes back and redeems himself before the end of Alien Rangers, then
Agreed.
maybe we can rethink it, but...
All right. What about Professor Longnose?
Scroll all the way down.
Yeah, for disappointment.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's look at the bottom end of the list.
Tell me, where's... Oh, I forget every time. Where's the Bukala?
Bukala. Evil Bukala is at number 63.
Out of...
About 100?
Ugh.
He was bad, but he's kind of interesting at least.
Here's the bottom of the list. We've got Mondo the Magician
Yep.
and the Dark Rangers off the list, not applicable.
Yep.
Then we've got Snow Monster from that one where they went into a book. Goldar.
Is that where Goldar
That's where Goldar is.
And deserves
And
it.
honestly, that's high for Goldar.
Who's Snow Monster?
He was a Yeti monster.
Ugh.
He wasn't even a he just, dumb. Mr. Tickle Sneezer, Showbiz Monster, who was just a camera that got turned into a monster, Sinister Simeon, who was the monkey that got turned into a monster and was racist,
Yep.
Needle Nose, Marvo the Meanie, Vase Face, which I guess rhymes if you're an American, Turkey
Vase
Jerk,
Vase?
Turkey Jerk, Skellerina, The Wheel of Misfortune.
Oh my god, the Wheel of Misfortune.
I still think that's ranked way too low.
Professor
I'm-
Longnose is worse than all of these.
Yeah, I mean...
Am I wrong?
I don't know that you're wrong.
I mean, part of that is we built him up.
Yes.
Yeah, but what did he do at all?
They built him up as well?
Yes.
That is their fault.
A single sentence of setup is more setup than anyone else ever got.
Yeah.
So, below Snow Monster...
I didn't see Snow Monster, hard for me to judge.
Snow Monster was literally just a Yeti who was kind of like... They referred to him as a Power Rangers monster, but he was just...
He was just a storybook Yeti.
He's like the Wampa from Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
But...
Yeah,
Did
he's
he
like, he's
smash
not a...
anything?
Uh,
Before you answer, if he smashed a single thing, that makes him better than Professor Longnose in my book.
fair cop. He did cause an avalanche, I think. Or at
That's
least-
more than Professor Longnose achieved.
Or at least was there for an avalanche. I think you might be right.
Bottom of the... Is Professor Longnose the worst monster
The
in Power
worst-
Rangers
Yeah.
history?
Yep.
Good luck fucking conquering a dark star galaxy, baby.
Yeah. Sorry, Professor Longnose.
I'm not sorry at all. He's sorry to me.
I think he is, but I take your point.
He ought to be.
Yeah,
He's
certainly.
dead now.
Yeah. Dead to me.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, it hurt, Michael. It hurt me here. And here.
That's Matt's heart and penis.
Lunds.
No, I did not point to my penis. Pointed to my eyebrows.
This has been a very special episode of Ranger Danger After Dark. Sarah, where would you put Professor Longnose in the Ranger Danger Bone Zone?
I wouldn't put him in my bones.
Just out of 10.
I mean, that nose.
Is that
Hang on. Yeah.
Out of 10. So, like, I need some context. I'm a bit like Matt, apparently.
Well, a 10 is like
You are.
the hottest Power Rangers monster you can imagine.
But he has to be a monster.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Like, who was the lipstick?
Lip syncer.
Yeah. Like, that's probably...
Is that your 10?
Well, not mine specifically, but probably, like,
Not even that weird Japanese bondage man.
a good objective. Like, the eye one is 0.
Okay.
Sea
okay,
monster.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I maintain that Sea Monster is a great name for that monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good as a misdirect.
Like, I'd put, like, Lord Zed kind of high.
Hey, he's so muscular.
He's pretty ripped.
I mean,
You
he
gotta
has
give
no skin. So I think it's easier
but
to
like-
be ripped.
He's
see
probably
Mr. Nose?
Jewish.
Is
what sort of value segment?
I don't know. That's for Sarah to decide.
Hang on, how is he probably
He
Jewish?
had a Jewish wedding.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
He's
I'm okay
he's
with
got
that.
like every now and then there's some like vaguely Jewish affectations around him.
So,
He's
I'm-
sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, that's fine with me. Yeah. That's still...
Okay, so where would you put?
So is Lord Zed like an 8? Is
Yeah.
like Lord Zed before his skin got melted off by that crystal a 10?
Sure, yeah.
Oh man, he must have been a good-looking gentleman.
And now
Yeah.
he's an 8.
Now he's an 8. I'm gonna put Nosy Nose like a 2.
Oh,
Correct.
There's the nose.
Yeah, but also he had a lot of
It's
other
racist, Sarah.
against his nose.
Yeah, against bird people.
He
Well,
is-
I just think his nose would get in the way of a lot of different things.
That's fair.
And that's where we're going to leave this episode, I think. No, I mean, I'm not going to add to that. We're not going to improve on that.
No.
Let's just leave that horrifying / lovely image in our
What do
listeners'
you guys
heads.
do to me? Like every now and then I come on here and I'm like, yeah, this will be fun, and then I record and I'll forget after a few months that and then I'll come back.
That's what we rely on.
Yeah.
So until I forget again.
We'll see you in 25 episodes. Thank you also, Tim, for
Of
joining
course,
us.
you're very welcome.
We will be back next week with Climb Every Fountain.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
I
Where
kinda-
am I next week?
I kind of love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of water themed puns
Yes.
in this next couple of episodes.
Yes.
Save them up.
All right, so we'll be back then. Thank you guys for listening, and bye.